Alright, so this says that I'm live, so yeah, it's me, it's Steve back at it one more time here with another stream here on the channel. This is my Bound for Glory 2017 review recap. Now, I'm fully aware this is Monday, Raw ended. I'll be honest, I didn't watch all of Raw, came back from work late, but I know it's from the UK, so I'll watch it tomorrow. It is what it is. Anywho, I'm doing now my Bound for Glory 2017 review. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you guys, okay? I haven't watched an episode of Impact leading up to this event. I want to say since Eli Drake won the world title in that gauntlet match a while back. I kept in touch with some of the clips on YouTube here and there, but I actually managed to watch the pay-per-view because I really wanted to see what were they going to do. You know, again, it's the whole thing with GFW. Now they're on their own again, Impact, and see what could they possibly pull off here, right? And I'll be very honest with you guys. I feel like this show, I don't want to say like it sucked. I don't want to say that this show was the worst thing I've seen, because I've seen a lot of bad pay-per-views in the past, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. But overall, I thought this show was just there. I didn't think like it was bad or anything. It had some good, if you will, on this show. There's some good stuff on the show. But if you're gonna tell me this was supposed to be their show of the year, their biggest show of the year, then who the fuck are you guys lying to? I really want to know. Other than that, guys, give me thoughts down below in the comment threads if your take on this show, if you actually watched it or not. And I'll be honest, I watched it, and believe it or not, and this is a true story here, I ended up falling asleep. Not because I thought this show was boring. I fell asleep because literally yesterday I went to work at 8 in the morning. When I left work around 6 p.m. and I made dinner, I ate, and then I'm watching the first match, and then out of nowhere, boom, just crashed, and I just went to sleep, and literally woke up around, I want to say 11 something, and the show was already over. But again, this really, again, and I agree with you, this pay-per-view wasn't worth $50 to $40, and I agree, it wasn't worth $40 if you actually paid $40 to quote Eli Drake, dummy, yeah. But nonetheless, I'm not saying this show was bad or anything, okay? I just thought it was just there, but don't sit there and tell me this is your biggest show of the year. I'll give them credit where credit's due. At least they tried to make it look like something. I give them credit, try to make that venue, that Aberdeen Pavilion, whatever it was. They tried to really, they made it look like an actual wrestling venue. It reminded me of the Impact Zone. At the same time, you could even say this was just 3 hours of Impact. Okay? 20 at most, I'll say 15. I'll say 15, but that's just my honest opinion. Ryan 2001. But anywho, let's get into these results and the matches we have. There are 8 matches on the card, and really, to be honest, at the same time, this had really everything you could have wanted. Just everything that reminded you a lot of TNA in essence. A random match with a bunch of flips and dives, an impromptu random match that went nowhere, a promo that just again made zero effing sense. You had a distraction in the crowd and a main event with so much clutter of booking. Really, to be honest here, okay? The show kicked off with the X Division match between champion Trevor Lee, Andrew Everett. Wait a minute. No, was Andrew Everett in this card? Okay. This Wikipedia is definitely botched here completely. It was Trevor Lee, Sanjay Dutt, Desmond Xavier, Garza Jr., Matt Sydal, and Petey Williams. For some reason, Wikipedia is having Andrew Everett in the replacement of Sanjay Dutt. I thought this match, honestly, was a good way to kick off the show. Okay, everyone here did their typical flips and dives, what have you. It's the X Division, right? So they're supposed to do all the type of maneuvers. But my only complaint is this, okay, about the match. Why, oh why, was this not Ultimate X? Can someone tell me that? You think about it, right? It's the biggest show of the year. It's the biggest show of the year, but yet we're just doing a regular, plain, generic X Division match for the X Division title. That doesn't make sense to me at all. Petey Williams obviously was over his rover in this match completely. The crowd going crazy for him. He was literally all like amped up and decked up in Canadian gear, red and white. People were just clamoring for the Canadian Destroyer. But Trevor Lee eventually got the win. He stole the win from P.D. Williams. He pinned Desmond Xavier, which I'll say this as well. I'm happy for someone like Desmond Xavier to get, the exposure that he's getting now. Even if it's TNA or Impact, it is what it is. Good for him. But I'll say this too, just to give you guys, again, just to show you the nitpicking I can do here, okay? This is supposed to be the biggest show of the year. And here's someone like Trevor Lee still dressed in the same gear that he wore for Impact. Like, dude, it's your biggest show of the year, okay? Can you at least put some effort? At least act or dress like it's the biggest show. Like, dude, come on. You can't tell me you couldn't come out in some, like, custom special gear. The same black tights, the same black boots. Like, bro, are you in New Japan? Are you a young boy? Are you a young lion or whatever the hell you call it in New Japan? Like, and here's the thing about, why should that? I'll give you an example, okay? Look at Neville back in WWE. Yeah, he always wore the, even when he was heel Neville, he always wore, like, the same black tights, the same, black boots, what have you. But at least for special events, he would, like, switch it up. Like, at WrestleMania, even though he was in that opener, that pre-show match with Aries, at least he wore, like, golden gear, right? He had, like, golden tights, all right? For those special occasions. Even during SummerSlam against Tozawa, at least he went out in silver gear. You mean to tell me this bum couldn't come out there in special, customized gear for the big event that it is, Bound for Glory? Just saying, okay? If P.D. Williams, who is a veteran, what have you, actually came out decked out in Canada, why couldn't someone like Trevor Lee, who is the champion? Just saying. And again, it's minor details, but it's stuff like that to make you at least make it seem like it's a big, important show. Okay? Then we had Taiji Ishimori versus Tyson Dukes. For some reason, they're putting Tyson Kidd here. How hilarious is this? Okay, I understand that Impact had these work relationships with Pro Wrestling Noah, with the Crash promotion, AAA, and I guess now Smash and something in Canada. Good for them. That's awesome, okay? But it doesn't mean that you got to find a way to get all these guys on the card to show, hey, we have these work relationships with all these promotions. No. If anything, this could have literally been a pre-show match. Literally. And again, Ishimori, a talented performer, so Tyson Dukes to an extent, but this match should not be on the pay-per-view. It went nowhere. No one cared. Yeah, granted, Ishimori came out with, like, the chairman, I guess, of Pro Wrestling Noah, but again, it just a match that was there. No one cared. It literally went like 4 minutes. Whoop-de-freaking-do. Okay? But Ishimori got the win. We then go on to... before the third match, we had a promo by Alberto El Patron, the returning El Patron, and everyone made a big deal out of it, okay? Welcome back, welcome back. He got on the mic, and literally there, he went on this tantrum. This random, no one cared, people were booing promo that just went nowhere. He talked about how literally Impact betrayed him, how they didn't pay him while he was gone, while all the stuff that he was innocent, how people believed the internet, the dirt sheets, but not the true facts, how no one actually cared about him while he was gone. He looked like he was going to attack Jeremy Borash, who was on commentary with Josh Matthews. Apparently Jeremy Borash is everyone's friend. All right, Alberto Patron's like, JB, I thought we were friends. Like I said, it seems like Jeremy Borash is everyone's friend. Everyone that left WWE to go to Impact, that's their friend. I would not be surprised if Neville is JB's friend. Just saying. I wouldn't be surprised if Emma is JB's friend. And it looked like he was going to attack JB. What up? Good evening, Matt Lopez. He looked like he was going to attack JB. He was taunting, he was teasing it, and JB was about to shit himself. He was sweating bullets, and just let him slide. He promised, though, that this would not be the last time you will see him on the pay-per-view. But again, everyone was booing. No one cared. Honestly, listen, okay? I hate the fact that we're going this route with Alberto El Patron. Everything that happened during the summer, like early on, like, during the fall, when he won the title, he had a vacate, he got suspended because of the whole scandal with Paige. I hate now that we're making this into a storyline. I hate that. If he just left it at I'm happy to be back. I'm better than ever. And I'm getting my belt back. Awesome. But he had to go on this tantrum that went nowhere. He called Eli Drake a paper champion. But that's just my honest take on the whole thing, okay? We go on to Joseph Park versus Grado in a Monsters Ball match, where if Grado would have lost, he would have also lost his work visa, and he would be terminated, and he must leave literally the United States. Okay, why oh why would Abyss, of all people, right? Because apparently it wasn't Joseph Park, it was Abyss, but it's the same person, right? It's the same fucking person. Why would Joseph Park, or why would Abyss, a monster Abyss, right? This feared, revered performer on that roster, right? Why would he care if Grado stays or leaves America? Even though, at the same time, this match is taking place in Canada. Just the stupidity of the stipulation, the stupidity of this match. I'm not saying that these guys didn't work hard, because they did. They had some comedy sketches here, what have you. Grado came out dressed like Mick Foley, what have you. Again, it was just there. And then we get, apparently, somewhere in this match as well, you see Laurel Van Ness, who was also in the crowd during the previous match between Ishimori and Tyson Dukes. In the crowd, just walking around, what have you. So during this match, right, she gets in the ring and she attacks Grado. Because apparently Grado stood her up because Grado found that, oh, she's Canadian, she's not American, so I can't marry her to stay in America. So she goes on to attack Grado, and the lights go off. The lights go out. The lights turn back on. In comes Rosemary, right? In comes Rosemary, and the crowd's going crazy. Yeah, it's Rosemary. And she sprays the mist on Laurel Van Ness, and Abyss goes to choke her, right? He's gonna choke or whatever, but Rosemary calms him down. And then she proceeds to help Abyss attack Grado with the mist, to no avail. And then Abyss, who got hit with the mist instead of Grado, goes in to chokeslam Rosemary through thumbtacks. And the match ends, first off, with a botch, because apparently they did the whole roll-up, where Grado rolled up Abyss for the 1, 2, 3, but it was supposed to be a 2 count, but the bell rang. So the referee did a botch here. Keep this in mind, they let go, they got release of the American referees in replacement of these Canadian referees. What a way to choke on the big show, boys. Just saying. And they did the whole procedure again, what have you, right? And Grado gets black hole slammed into a board full of barbed wire for the 1, 2, 3. Okay. I understand that Rosemary was supposed to have a match against Taya Valkyrie, but apparently the match got, scrapped, whatever. There was an issue with Taya Valkyrie. Whatever it is, it happens. I understand that, okay? But you mean to tell me Rosemary, who, when you think about it right now, right, and Impact is probably one of the best female talent that they have on that roster currently, along with Sienna, right? You mean to tell me on your biggest show of the year, this is what you do with Rosemary? Instead of adding her to that triple threat match for the Knockouts title, you decide to put her in this spot, somewhere a normal spot in this match, just so she can get chokeslammed through thumbtacks. How stupid is that? How dumb is it? It makes zero sense at all. But yeah, so now Grado is deported. He can no longer wrestle in America. He's terminated. But keep this in mind. Again, this match took place in Canada. This match would have made more sense, I don't know, if it took place in America. Just saying. That's just my take on this, okay, overall. Take it for what it's worth. We then had Team TNA, or Team Impact, whatever you want to call it. Team TNA, GFW, Impact, whatever. Eddie Edwards, EC3, James Storm versus Team AAA, Hijo del Fantasma, Pagano, and Tejano. I'll be honest, again, just a filler random match. I get it. They had a match in AAA, I believe, and the AAA guys got the win over there. So I guess this is the revenge of Impact, if you will. Eddie Edwards, who's currently the GHC heavyweight champion over at Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan. Here's the thing with that, all right, too. I feel like guys like Eddie Edwards and EC3 deserved way better than this match right here. People are saying James Storm is on his way out. I don't even know. It is what it is with that. But all I'm saying is guys like EC3 and Eddie Edwards deserve way much better than this filler 6-person match that I don't know where they're going to go with this. I really don't know. But at the end of the day, Team Impact got the win. It was the last call to Pagano for the 1, 2, 3, and they all celebrated by drinking beer in Canada. Rightfully so. We then had another tag team match, right? The 51-50 street fight for the TNA or Impact World Tag Team Championships. OVE, Ohio versus Everything, Dave Christ and Jay Christ versus LAX or EYFBO, Ortiz Santana. I'm going to say this right now. This was probably the best match on the show. If there's any match that you should go back and watch from this show, if anything, is this match right here. To be completely honest with you. It was crazy, this match, compared to all the other matches on this card, didn't get that much hype. But this match, again, probably the best match on the card. Okay? They were literally fighting all over the arena. I almost said the Impact Zone, but you kind of get the idea. The arena where they were at literally last night looked like the Impact Zone. Okay? They went everywhere. There was a spot where I think Ortiz or Santana jumped from one of the, I guess from like the top or whatever it was, and he jumped. He went through a table. There was like a ladder that was put, from the outside the ring to the guardrail, what have you. And out of nowhere, we get the debut of Sami Callihan. And apparently before the match, there was an image where one of the guys from LAX, I believe it was Homicide, right? He was laying on the ground buried by a flag. So people were saying, oh, that was Sami Callihan who probably took out Homicide, right? But from all of this as well, we get a heel turn. The heel turn, I guess now OVE. So we now see the turn here where now LAXs are the good guys here now, and OVE are now the heels because of Sami Callihan. But at the same time, listen, for someone to make a debut like Sami Callihan, he got like no reaction at all. The people were just dead for him. Like, okay, he's there, good, whatever. But again, if anything, this is probably the best match on the entire card in my honest opinion. Okay, so if anything, go back to watch this match. You really should. Then we had Gail Kim versus Ali versus Sienna for the Knockouts Championship. Gail Kim's retirement match, right? She's supposed to be gone. And I'll be honest, this match, I thought for what they did, it was there. I'll be honest, they should have added Rosemary because what happened, with that match with Taya Valkyrie being scrapped out. They should have added Rosemary to them. This should have been a fatal 4-way. But instead, it's a 3-way where guess who won? LOL. Gail Kim got the win. But then again, you saw this coming a mile away. You have to be really dumb. You have to be a dumb Impact Wrestling fan to not realize this match was going to go down the way it did. And realize that, hey, Gail Kim was going to win this match. And she did. She ended up pinning, I believe, Ali or I think she pinned Ali or she pinned Sienna. One or the other. Okay, but the point is, Gail Kim, she's retiring, right? But she wins the Knockouts Championship. So let me guess now, she's gonna vacate the belt, and we're gonna do this tournament. I'm assuming, I could be wrong. I don't know what's happening during the tapings, or the spoilers have not come out yet. But I'm going to assume they're gonna probably do a tournament to crown a new champion. And I'll be honest too, when you think about it, this is not the Knockouts division. It's the Gail Kim division. This is what it is. That's what it always was, the Gail Kim division, where everything is Gail Kim or nothing at all. And again, nothing against Gail Kim. She's talented in every single way. But let's keep it 100. This is her division. LOL, Gail Kim won. And honestly, I would not be surprised if next year's Bound for Glory, next year, Gail Kim comes out of retirement to once again win the Knockouts title. Which, by the way, the belts, because originally they had it was all GFW, and because now they parted ways with GFW, they're still keeping the belts that were GFW, but instead they put this ridiculous plate in the middle of the belt that says Impact Wrestling. Again, you're supposed to have all this money, but you're not going to make new belts. Instead, let's keep the old belts that were not even ours, they were GFWs, and just put a ridiculous big-ass plate that says Impact Wrestling, like a bumper sticker. Talk about high quality, y'all. But that was that match. And it was sad, disappointing at the same time. Very, very disappointing, if you ask me. But again, there you go, Gail Kim. Honestly, should have added Rosemary. But it is what it is. I guess she's retired. Whatever. It is what it is again. Gail Kim. We then had the co-main event. Oh, before this even happened, we get an appearance of Jimmy Jacobs, who popped up on commentary. Right? He's like, oh, yeah, I think I don't work here. It's Bound for Glory. Of course I'm going to be here right now. And Josh Matthews with the line, oh, should have gotten a selfie with him. Very funny with that, but it is what it is. And then we get the MMA steel cage match. We had Bobby Lashley and King Mo versus Moose and Stephan Bonnar. I'll be honest. I liked the build-up to this match. I thought it had an amazing build-up with Dan Lambert, an American Top Team, them bashing pro wrestling, how pro wrestling is a joke, it's all about MMA. In some capacity, the crossing, I guess, of pro wrestling versus MMA. For so many years, we've heard a lot of MMA fans talk shit about pro wrestling, and vice versa, okay? And now we're getting this match. Granted, you had an MMA guy in each team. You had Lashley and King Mo versus, again, Moose, and accompanied by UFC Hall of Famer Stephan Bonnar. And I liked how even some of the guys from American Top Team got a rub off this. Someone like Colby Covington, who was like one of the top guys in the UFC welterweight division, he beat Damon Maia a couple of weeks ago. I think before UFC 217, he beat Damon Maia. Right? And after the fight, he gets on the mic and cuts this promo bashing Brazil. And I'm happy to know that, hey, his time in some capacity in the world of pro wrestling got him that rub to go on the mic, do trash talking, what have you. That's probably the only positive I see from all of this. The match as a whole was just pure sloppiness. I'll say this. This match, if it was just a regular tag team match, this match would have suffered. There was a moment in this match where Stephan Bonnar goes to powerbomb Lashley, and you can tell that Lashley landed so wrong. It's like he almost literally broke Lashley's neck. Literally. And I guess for what, King Mo and Bonnar were doing here, they were grappling on the canvas, they're rolling around. And then out came the clutterness of the booking here, where a lot of the American Top Team guys got involved. They were inside the ring, and then out of nowhere, you had Moose trying to climb back up, jumped from top of the cage. He kind of botched it, but hey, someone decides to do that. My hat's off to him. But after all this, right, he gets speared by Lashley for the 1-2-3. So then, again, Team MMA, the American Top Team, Lashley and King Mo got the win. Another thing, too, I want to get this out of my chest, too. There's this whole thing on Twitter where where Moose went on Twitter and said, hey, if you didn't like Bound for Glory, screw you guys. Like, bro, please don't do that. Don't do that. I get it. If you're an Impact Wrestling, superstar or wrestler, of course you're always going to be in defense mode. But just don't do that. I don't expect that from someone like you. Okay? You're not Eric Young. Okay, come on. Just saying. It's just so stupid of Moose to do that on Twitter. Okay, that's my honest opinion on that. Of course. Okay, take that for what it's worth. But that was the match. Again, at the end of the day, Lashley and Moose helped balance this match out, which was really cool. But again, this match, if it was a plain regular match, just sloppiness. And then we get Eli Drake and Johnny Nitro or Johnny Mundo or John Morrison or whatever you want to call him, in the main event for the Impact Global Championship. I thought this match overall was a very good match until the end, of course. It just had so much clutter of booking where you had Chris Adonis, who, again, Chris Masters, Chris Adonis, Mordesky, whatever you want to call him, okay? Literally at ringside, trying to literally get involved. You had El Patron, who near the end, right? So Morrison, or again Nitro or Impact, Johnny Impact, whatever you want to call him, right? Does like a Starship Pain, whatever that move was from like back in the day, or the split-legged moonsault, right? The split-legged moonsault, and he goes for the cover for the 1-2-3, and El Patron comes in through the crowd and pulls the referee out. He attacks the referee. He gets in the ring. He attacks Johnny Nitro or Johnny Impact or John Morrison, You kind of get the idea, okay? He attacks Johnny Impact, okay? And then he goes in to attack Eli Drake. And the crowd's booing this, brother. They're booing this. And then you have him grab Eli Drake and put him on top of Johnny Nitro, Johnny Impact, John Morrison, Johnny Mundo, whatever you want to call him, for the 1, 2, 3. Again, a clutterfuck of booking, but I'm happy that Eli Drake got the win. The last thing you really need is for Eli Drake to lose to a guy from the outside. When you think about it, Johnny Impact, he's from the outside. He's from AAA or Lucha Underground. The last thing you really wanted to have one of your homegrown guys lose to someone from the outside. And again, that was Bound for Glory. And just the ending of it just felt so nice. So you have El Patron on the entrance area, whatever, smiling, and that's how they closed the show. No, like, this has been Bound for Glory, thank you for tuning in. Nothing like that. Just, boom, that happened, and boom, close the show. It was so much like a TV match at the same time. But, again, that was Bound for Glory. Some say they hated it. Some say it was great. Some say it was, whatever. Me, I'm going to say this right now. This was not worth $40. This was not even worth $20. Hell, this was probably worth $10, if anything. I just hope next for Slammiversary, if they even have it, I don't even know. If you're Impact, the people at Anthem, you should really start putting that, that global wrestling network to use and put these pay-per-views on your network. Because again, there's no way you're gonna expect fans to pay, $40 or $50, whatever the fuck it is, for these like lackluster, low quality pay-per-view. I'm just saying. If anything, this should have been 3 hours on Pop TV, if that was the case. If anything, okay? But other than that was the pay-per-view, guys. Give me your thoughts down below in the comment threads of this video. If you enjoyed it or not, what have you. If you did, bless you. If you haven't, it is what it is. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. And as always, guys, hate, comment, and subscribe. And you know what? It's me, Steve. I'm out. Brah.